Hello and welcome to this crash course. What we're going to be doing now today is to build out this fantastic looking application, right? And it's actually a full stack application. So we're going to start up, by building the UIs first. Like I'll build out the landing page, which is the home page, then go over to the shop and so on, right? So then we'll start the actual implementation of this application from the backend, right? So far, this is how far we've come. I'm going to show you, demo it to you what we have currently. You can access it via this link. And this is it. This is what we have. Looking good. This is the hero section. So scroll down. You basically have the range section. Scroll down a bit, you have the product section. So when you hover over a product, you kind of see that cool, lets you effect that we have there, right? So that's actually done with Figma motion, kind of basic. And also we have this setup section, right? And then we have the footer, right? So this is good. And then you can check out the shop part by clicking on the shop button. So this should take you to a page where you can view more of those products. So don't worry, most of this product will actually be coming from the actual endpoint, right? You can see show here, you can actually select whatever you want to show and so on. You can select a filter that you want to filter by, right? So these are the things that will basically like integrate with an actual endpoint in the future. So you can see we have more of the products here because this is more of a product page, and then we can have a custom navigation, right? So if you click on it, it takes you to the other page, right? So, but the way we want to do it during the integration, we want to make sure that it doesn't reload the page. It just, fetches new data and update the virtual DOM instantaneously. And also we have the banner section here, and then we have the footer. So this is what we'll be building in this very first module of the application. And then yes, I would actually love to hear you guys feedback regarding what you want to be you want integrated in this platform, right? Because I've already like demoed a couple of things that has to do with the backend architecture and so on. So these are the things that we'll be going through during this lesson, right? So all right. All right, so yeah, so let's grab the mobile version of this. I forgot to demo this, like minimize this a bit. And obviously, just take us back to the initial stage, which is this. Good, good, good. So I'm going to do is going to demo it here. Okay, so put it around here, and you can see this is our navigation. Very good. And then scroll down, you can see the way that every component is pretty much responsive. We still have all the cool features within it, and all the details are still there. And then we have the filter. So this is the mobile version of this application, right? All right. So let's get started. All right, and so we're going to just continue with the checkout page, and we already know how this looks like. So where we stopped last time is basically the shopping cart. So what happens here is whenever you add a product to the cart, you can click on this button, and that will take you to the checkout detail page, which is this. This is what we'll be building today, and here you can basically enter your billing details like the first name, the last name, the company name, country, street address, and so on, right? So yeah, we have to basically build it today, and then we have a place order button. So when the user basically click on this, they are redirected to Stripe to make their payment. So we'll be leveraging um, Stripe's links, creating a payment link with Stripe to be able to achieve this. So when you just click on this, they are navigated to Stripe, and then they can process their payment, right? So yeah, so we'll actually be building out the UI today. And just to mention, what we want to achieve basically is build out this UI so that we can just build out the contact part, and then we should be good. So we can start with the proper backend integration. And yeah, I know that most of you are looking forward to that. So yeah, that's what we'll be building out. So first off, we're going to build out this checkout detail page where we get information about our checkout. So we're going to go in here. I think we just have to create a new page for it. We don't have one. Go to app, go to, so we have contact, we have shop. We don't have checkout. right? So yeah, we're going to just build checkout. And meanwhile, so this thing looks very similar with what we already have, like shop and so on. So I'm going to click on shop now. And obviously, okay, so, okay, click on, yeah. So shop, yeah, basically has the same component as what we'll be having here. So we'll be reusing this. I don't know if we have a layout for it, but if we don't, I'm just going to try to, branch this into a separate layout for us to use. All right. So yeah. So let's do that quickly. So we're currently on the shop part. So what we can do, we can check out on the shop right here, and then we have the page, right? So this is what we have. We have the banner and so on, and we already have a layout that kind of have the footer and navigation. Good, good, good. And what else, right? So once create a new one, I'm just going to call this checkout. So checkout will basically have like a page.tsx. All right, there we go. So this will actually be the checkout page. All right. So how do we get in here? So when we click on the checkout button, so once we direct them to to that page. So we'll click on this button, we direct them to the new page, right? So let's look for the checkout. All right. There we go, right there. Okay, so yeah, I think that is it. So this is it right here. So we want to just route them to to the new page. So we could do this in two ways, right? We could actually do it in two ways, and one would be for us to just define an action. Let's do action here, and what we want to do is to navigate our router, the push checkout, right? So this should be in small letter. So what we have to do is to set up the router hook. So for us to be able to use any form of hook, we have to convert this component to a client component. And we have to basically define router. Because we use router. This use router is coming from next router. And yeah, so we could just import that. Very good. And then we'll just push it. Alright, so let's see if that works. Let's refresh this again. Click on this. Okay, next router was unmounted. Interesting. Oh, so I think the use router is not from next router but from next navigation. This one. Alright, so yeah, there's a difference between both. Alright, so now let's check it out again. Click on this, click on checkout. Boom, we're taken to the checkout page. Right, nice. So with this now, all we have to do is to basically build out the top section, right? So I think this subsection is very similar with what we already have before now. It's like what we have in shop, right? So we're just going to be leveraging some of the existing components we have set up in shop to be able to achieve this. So going to increase the font a bit and go to shop, go to page, and then we basically have a section like this. So we're going to be needing all of this. Just gonna copy this and paste it right here. So well, we don't really need a shop hero section, but what we need is very different. We could have used one section. So this is the same. We could have created a reusable component for it. So we don't need this one. We don't need the pagination section, but we do need the banner, right? So Okay, so there we go. So now we want to basically change this to checkout and then put home and checkout right there. So we open this up and then we have this. So we could have made this in a reusable, a reusable component to make it easier. And I can just copy it and go to comma and just going to hero. So this will be the hero component. So I'll paste in what we need. Right, so hero will take in the title as well as the, so this will be the title. And okay, so we have the one will always be there. And then we have the shop. Shop is written as the title, isn't it? Yeah, so it's the same. So we define the type. Right, so we define the type right there. So we could easily just reuse this. So in here, we can remove all of this. And just define a title. Okay, so we could do that, and at the same time, we can come in here in the checkout. Instead of this, we could just put it directly. So this should be checkout. Right, let's check it out again. Boom. So we have one component that we can reuse in, everywhere else. Nice. All right. So we can start worrying about the input. Right. So it's I'm just going to define it right here. We can create a form for it to make it easier. So we can go back to page and go to page right here. And in here, we're going to basically have two things, right? We're going to have two things. Okay, so the first thing we have will be the form on the right, and the other one will have to be checkout detail. Okay, so we need to create under the component folder, we're going to create a form. Create a new folder called this forms. Okay, create a new file. This will be checkout billing form. Okay, so I think the other one is just a section. It will be a card really. Not really like a card or whatever, but it's more of a section. So we can call this the checkout details section. So create a new folder, call that checkout, and this will be the checkout details section. Nice. Okay, so now we can go back to our checkout page, and what we can do now is that we can be able to catch two things, right? So the first one has to do with the form on the left hand side. It will be checkout billing form. And the other one on the right hand side will be checkout, this part, checkout detail form. Detail section, sorry about that. Let's check it. Boom, they are both coming in as expected. Nice, nice, nice. All right, and then we can proceed. So yeah, so I think for the form input, we'll be using the Shadcn input, And if you don't know what Shadcn is, I think we've mentioned it a couple of times. So you can actually just go to ui.shadcn.com, and that gives you access to all of the available components for Shadcn. Then we can actually just select an input, right? So I'll be using this input. I think we've already installed it, but if you've not, you can just copy this command and paste it on your terminal. So this is going to create the input component within your UI folder, right? So you now have access to the input folder. So you'll have, go to your app, right? Go to your thing components. So you have a UI folder, so you can see input. Whenever you install, you see something like this. So I've already installed it. I'm not going to install it again, so I won't override what I already have, right? So let's go over it and build out the form. So what I'm going to do, we already have a kind of system here in place, and I'm just going to reuse what we already have within the Shadcn system, right? So yeah, so this is actually a form with some good validation. So we'll be adding the form alongside the necessary validations for it. So I'm just going to maybe copy this one. Okay, that does not work. Okay, let's go to preview. Click on this, very good. So we have to create this kind of form with different validations. So I'm just going to copy all of this and paste it in here. So meanwhile, I'm going to change the title to Shadcn billing. Check out. Alright, so check out the billing form. So we basically have the form element. So we don't have them yet, so we have to basically install it. So you can click on the form, and then it takes you to the installation guide for it. So yeah, this is the way you basically install it. So let's install it right away. So I'm just going to close the terminal and install. Okay, so it's just going to, try to install. While it's actually installing, maybe I can just spin up a different server and, have our dev server up and running. Okay, while it's installing, we can just proceed. No big deal. So now we might actually need a couple of other things like Zod and, you know, um, Zod and resolvers, right? And hook form for the Zod resolver. So yeah, we could actually be needing those. And we'll be needing the React hook form. So let's grab all of those. So let's go into the yarn add. So paste it here. If you want to install multiple packages at the same time, you could. Oh, okay. So I think just installing the form basically installs all of this. So I think we are good now. All right. So since we're good, okay. There we go. Check out building form. Check out building form. Let's go. Okay. If I'm able to locate it, we just changed the name before. So let's re-import it. There we go. Let's go again. Boom. So we already have a component in here. Nice. Okay, so what we are needing is just a few things, right? I'm just going to put this on the side. Remove the sidebar by hitting the Ctrl B button command. And then we're going to need a couple of things. First off, we have to set up our default values. It's completely optional, or we'll set up our form schema. So what we're going to do, we have the first name. So first name must be a list to characters. So let's format it correctly. Okay, so we have the first name, we have the last name. Okay. Oh, sorry about that. So that's the first name here. Sorry. So this will be the last name. Alright, so the first name is here, and then we have the last name. So string, so last name must be at least 2 character. Nice. So company is completely like optional. So company. This is actually optional. You don't need to specify anything, so it's fine. And we have the country. Country is required, right? So we could just do the required. Yeah, I think there's a method like that in Zod. So this will make the country required. So we have required error. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Okay. Yeah, so I think we could just do is this required error? Okay, so let's Google that quickly. Just result required field, something like that. Alright, let's use the first instance. Okay, so string minimum. I don't want to use minimum. Just want to make it like, required or something like that. Oh, this is actually a question with no answer. That's weird. Okay. Okay, but it's a different question altogether. But let's see if there's any sense in it. There isn't, fortunately. Result validation schema. Oh yeah, so documentation. There we go. Let's close out the rest. So wait for the documentation to load up. And while we wait, let's try a different one. Oh, there we go. Okay, valid names from data. Alright, what do we have? Where are default values? Oh, there we go. Nice. So string that whatever. Oh, you have to use min and max for you to make something required, which is weird. Oh, damn. So we could use this, right? This is what I was looking for. Okay, so yeah, we could use something like this. Nice. Alright, so we could just do something like that. But that would be specifically for string. Okay, for string, right? Hope it's fine. I hope so. Yeah, nice. So country. So country is required. So if it's an invalid type, so this is just fine. We don't need this one. Okay, nice. All right, there we go. So street address, town. I think I'll just make all of these like required. Right, so it makes sense for it to be required. Alright, so the first one is the street. Okay, the other one is the town. have the province. So we have the province, and then we have a couple of zip code, phone number, email address. Zip code. Phone. So yeah, so we'll actually do the max phone here. We'll do the max of say 20 max. So we just do dot mean of say 7. So we just put a custom message here. But if you don't, I think Zorizol is going to provide you with its own generic message. Okay, so we have the phone, and lastly, we should be having the email address. So we have the email. Yeah, so just do the email. I should do it. So min does not exist on type params and so on. That's weird. Not sure if it's an actual error, but that's weird. We already have a min here. z.string.min. Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, something like that, yeah. Okay, nice. Okay, so now we could easily just set all the default values. And the way we go about that is just, placing everything where this is supposed to be. Okay, so we have first name, we have last name, we should have a company, and we should have a country, then we should have a street, we should have a town, we should have a province, and then we should have like a zip code, phone, and email. Okay, nice. Okay, so we can see we might actually be having some type issues. That is because of the fact that we've not typed it yet. All right. So what we are getting from the values is not like it's not matching up, right? So the way what we can do now is we can set the name correctly. So we can come in here and make sure that we are setting the right name, right? So in case there's an error, so that's actually what we use to display the error. So if we just use this one to get the error message, so that's field error. Is it an error? Not an error. That's weird. Okay, so now let's get the first name right there. We don't need the form description. I can take that off. Another thing. Yes, the first name. Okay, so this should actually start validating. When I click on this, you can see First name must be at least 2 characters. That means the validation is coming in as expected. Nice. So in the design, we don't really have any placeholder in the input. So we're going to remove any existing placeholder we have. Okay. So all right, I think we could just do this a form field. Nice. So we could create a div here. Okay, so we basically have 2 of this. So this one will be last name, and now we'll just do last right here. And in here we could change the class to be a flex, so they'll both be on the same line. Nice. And then we can control it more. And last name, nice. So you can see they are all well validated. Interesting. Okay, so the gap between the 2 inputs is here and here, 31 pixel. So you can come in here and just do a gap of 31 pixel. Nice. So that's the gap we have between these 2 inputs. And also I noticed that the input is actually 75 pixel in height. So what we are going to do is to try to modify that. Right, so let's see if we could give it a class name. Now we can't. Alright, so let's see. Form item, we have the input. Okay, so I 75 pixel. Oops, it's too much. It says 75, but in reality, it doesn't even add up to that. So we are going to eyeball it and have a very reasonable distance. So let's do 45. Okay, maybe we can do 50. Okay, right there. Yeah, it looks more like 50 for me. Nice. So in here we can actually just press it over input with that kind of thing. Okay, so there we go. So let's go back to the other input. So what else do we have? We have the company name, so this one is optional. Okay, company. Boom, all our thing is now valid. This is actually optional. I can leave it, it's not required. So that's why you don't see any message here. So which is fine. And one other thing I would do is to make sure that the width of everything we have within the form is actually just full, right? So with full, okay, so with full, you can say this is spanning the entire width. We have to make sure that this guy spans the entire width as well. Yeah, how do we do that? It's very easy. So you could first of all just do full here. Sometimes it might not really have like a reasonable effect, but what we can do is to make sure that each of the input grows with the size, right? Since we're not using grid, we're using flex. We could easily just apply, flex grow to each individual thing that we have here, right? So if we don't have it, so we could just do flex grow. Let's check the first one with the flex grow attribute. Okay, so we don't just want to grow the input, we want to grow the entire div, right? So I'll just wrap it in a div and place each of them in their own separate divs, and then we'll grow that div. Okay, so yeah, so let's grow. This should already be growing, so you can see this is actually has grown to this extent. So if we apply flexor to the other one, it's going to grow proportional with the first one. So yes, I'm just going to copy this and paste it right in here. Boom, you can see it's taking up the full width. There we go, nice. That's a little trick for you guys. And then let's go over to the select field. For the select field, we will leverage the Shadcn select. So if you don't know, you can just click on select, and then we have this cool selection field. Right, so for you to be able to install it, you can click on it. I thought I've already installed a select before. So I'm just going to check it out. Boom, we already have it. Nice. So what I'm going to do is to import it like this. So I'm just going to paste it here somewhere. And let's remove this unused import. And then copy this one too. And paste it right here. So yeah, we put just before, it doesn't matter. So now let's check out our select field. Boom, there we go. So our select field is actually what's it called? Is actually the country or region. So we just use 3 or 4 countries for now. Let's look for the title. Title is this. So it has its own title thing as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy this from the field, paste it in here. I'm going to copy this select and paste it right in here. So yeah, so we'll put this field in the actual select trigger or something. Let's check. If it doesn't work, we'll know what to do, right? So okay, so it is one will be country. Okay, so copy that. So replace this. Let's do United States. We could just have an array JSON of country list or whatever. I think we should do that, right? So we could just think that in GitHub we can find country JSON. Yeah, you can just find any random ones. Yeah, that should give you like a list of different countries that you should find. So you can already have one here. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, so I could just copy all of this or download it, right? So I could, yeah, there we go with the raw format. I'm just gonna copy, save this one, copy everything, close out everything. So in the source, I'm gonna create a new, or where I have a library folder, create a new folder, and copy JSON. So JSON. So JSON is going to basically just have country. So country.json. Nice. Then we'll paste it in here. Right. So there are 2 ways for you to be able to do this. If you don't need it in JSON, you can just put it in a JS file. Right. So I don't want to use, it's completely fine. So what we're going to do is to bring it in. If we have we can just use the code, so it's fine. All right. So what we're going to do is go import countries from. Okay. So from here, library. JSON, country.json. So this will be our countries. So if you don't know what it is, you can just print to the console. That should give you a list of different countries that we are having. So let's go here again and refresh it. Boom, you can see the list is coming in. This is a list of different countries we just acquired. All right, yeah. So I think yeah, shout out to this guy for providing us a list of different countries. Well, there are thousands of them on GitHub, so you might just want to choose any random one. Right. So yeah, So we already have the countries, and we can now look through the countries, so we can have like a list of different countries we want to play around with. So yeah, so we can map it, countries dot map. So we have a country, let's create a different one. Country, we have index. So all we have to do is to just place in a single select item. So you can remove all of this. So the value will be the country.code. Well, country.name can be the actual value. Country, we could just use the code, right? And you can specify a key with our index there. Country.name will be the actual name. Okay, so there we go. Are we good? Yeah, we should be good. So let's click on that. Click on that again. Boom, nothing is coming up. What's going on? Okay, let's terminate one of these terminals so we are more focused. Close this one, just this guy. Okay. Oh, there we go. Boom, boom, boom. So we have like lists of different countries. We can't really search or whatever. I think there used to be a searchable input that um, you could search a select input. Yeah, I think I used to have one like that. Yeah, but if we don't, it's not really like a priority. But there's a way you can always do it. Yeah, so we don't really have it here, but there are packages you could use that could give you a select functionality. So we don't want to be seeing team here. Let's change that to something else. Select country. Nice. So you click on it, you can actually select the country you want to select. Nice. Okay, so let's go to street address, down, and so on. So country is actually required. Let's try to submit. I'm just going to refresh. Try to submit. Okay, so is country required? I think so. It's not detecting this. No, that is weird. And do we already have anyone pre-selected? Oh, okay. Maybe this field does not have to be here, but it should be in the select thing itself. I think so. No, not on the trigger. Trigger doesn't do anything. Okay, let's refresh this and submit. Maybe country, I will just do. Let's try something out real quick. So country, I will just do a .me. All right, let's try that out. Oh, okay. So you can see that it's coming in as expected. So country should contain a value, minimum 1 and 3. Right, so that means the required error doesn't really work as expected. So that's crazy. Okay, so let's grab the error here. Okay, so country is required. So you have to select a country, select again, select a country. Click on the country is not selected. Okay, now that is strange. It was selecting before when this was in this one. So let's submit first. Error, nice. Select, submit again. Okay, so the select basically uses the on value change. Value change, right? Yeah, I'm just going to check up something and I'll be right back. All right, so I think, yeah, so the simple solution to this thing was first to just use the on value change and default value, so that the field on change for the on value change and field the value for default value. That should be able to that should be able to fix it for you. So if I go in here and I refresh the page, so I come in here and I don't select anything, just submit. So I have this one. So if I select something, you can see the validation error is gone and we can go ahead and do the submission. Nice. So yeah, so that's actually fixes it for us, which is nice. So we can go over to the other thing. So we need the street address. So we need a street address. So we're just going to copy this one, and I think we're gonna paste it around here. And this one will be the street address. Okay, street small dot a, and so we have the street. Boom, that's all we need, right? So we don't even need to, so we could do that. Street address, I think it's optional, it's required. So street address should actually just be required by default. So yeah, so you could do something like this instead. Street is required field, and then take off this weird thing. Yeah. So the same thing, I think it's so annoying that I had to, change everything like that. Okay, so streets minimum can actually just be 4 or 3, the case may be. And I'm just going to just copy and paste it alongside everywhere. Town around. I don't know what the hell that is. So the same thing will appear here. The same thing will appear here. Right, so let's do one of this and this one. So this one will be province require field zip code. Alright, so nice. So that should fix it for us. Boom, so the validation is coming as expected. Nice. So the next one has to do with I just did street. So do the same thing for town, city. Just gonna copy it and okay, this one will be town, and let's grab the title. Alright, so we are now in the province, right? So yeah, we could just use a different province selection. I don't know if a province will be based off a country, but I doubt. So we could just allow them, we don't make it a select field, we allow them to enter whatever province that they have in mind. Province. Okay. Do the same thing for zip code. And then we have the phone. So just gonna call here, replace this with the phone. And what else do we have? So we have the email address. Yes, we have the email address. Nice. And we actually have one other field that we did not take note of, additional information. So it's just going to be optional though. So come in and do additional info. So it's completely optional, it's not required. Okay, so yeah, we could just grab this one. It doesn't have a label, so I think it should have a label, right? So that they know what the field is for. Additional information, and then we have additional info as a key. Boom, there we go. So all the fields that requires validation, we have, we require you to enter your validation and so on. So where is the button? There should be a button for you to be able to, save this. Oh, that's a very bad design. We should have a button to save the billing details. So instead of submit, I'm just going to save billing info. Okay, so save billing info. I'm gonna copy that, not the type, sorry. Yeah, so type submit and so on. Right, so when you submit, we can be able to do things with this. Right, we can be able to do things with this and with this value, right? So we just log the whatever and so on. So I'm just going to use this auto prefill extension to fill out everything and submit. So that immediately I submit, you can see that I have all the inputs, array assignments and so on, all the input that was entered in the input field, right? Which makes sense, right? Yeah. So that is it. This is actually what we have, which makes sense a lot. So the next thing would be for us to build out this little section and this part, right? So this part should actually be very similar with what we already have here. Well, not completely, but we just need a way to be able to display the different products that we have in the total, and then we just place order. So we might not be doing direct bank transfer or anything, but we could have a they are going to pay before we allow them to do things. So we might not be needing this section, right? It's not completely, there's not relevant. And this card and delivery, so we just need to take this one upwards, right? Then good, and then we can just place order. Nice. Yeah, so this is something that we'll be building out. So let's think of how we can build out this section. This section is actually available in a different component. You can see this component is becoming a little bit bloated, right? Because we have lots and lots of form input. So that's why we have like a different section to to basically handle the checkout detail, right? So I'm going to rename this to section, and we're going to have a couple of things. So first off, we need the title, we need a div to encapsulate that. Then we have the product, and at the same time we have the subtotal. Right? So fonts will be bold, right? So font will be bold, and let's see Poppins, and then we have the text to 24 pixel. So I think the same font applies to what we have here. So we have to extend the styles to the same thing. And all right, so let's check it out. So product and self-total. It looks too big to me, honestly. So maybe we'll just make it a little bit smaller. Let's do it 10. Nice, that's better. Okay, so we're just going to do flex justify between. Nice. So here we basically need a list of different products that we have. Right, we already have this in our local story, so we need a list of them. So I'm going to click on this, something like this, right? So we need just gonna pin it here. Yeah, let's search for subtotal. Okay, so subtotal, nice. So we have the product, the length, and so on. Alright, so product. Okay, so there we go. So this one will give us all the different products that we have. Okay, so I think we just copy some of these things. Let's go again. So let's copy it from here, and then we paste it in here. So let's import the use state from React, the use atom from Jota. The cat atom is actually a default value, so we just import it as well. It's actually the key, right? So we can compute the subtotal. Okay, so compute the subtotal depending on the number of products that we have. So we just have this, doesn't matter. We'll have a function to compute the subtotal. Yeah, so this one will compute the subtotal for us. So we call this function, we have a subtotal. So we just return the total. Right, and then we can remove all of this. So we call this function, we have the subtotal of the product. So one other thing we do is that we need a list of the different products alongside the quantity, right? So let's do that. So this would be on this in a separate div. So it will be in a separate div, and the way it works is we could have the first product here, second product here. We just have the same flex styling to justify it between. And what we're going to do here is we need access to the product. How does the product look like in our local storage? So we can expect that, and we could go to application, we could go to local storage, sorry about that, go to application, and we could just scroll down. Right, so we have cart items. Okay, so these are actually our products. Right, so we have this one. You can see the quantity, we have it, we have the unit price as well. So that makes sense, judging with what we want to achieve. So product here, we don't need multiple P's. So we can come in here and map it, right? So we could have, okay, so we could just copy this. Okay, so we could have product and index. So we can paste that in there. And this index will be our key. And also within the product, what we could do is that we could just do the product dot product name right there. So yeah, we need a product name as well as the price, which is fine. And at the same time, we need the quantity that it's that we are supplying. Spam. So from board. Alright, so yeah, so what's the style of this? I think it's actually text gray. Let's check it out. And okay, so we didn't define it. It actually reused in most parts, right? So it's good to define something like this. Okay, so what we could do is we could go to Tailwind.config. So that's our gray. So we have to just use custom gray 2 or something like that. Right. So whatever we see, we have it for border, we have it for text. So let's do the one of text first. So it's just going to be text custom gray 2. So the one on the border on the other end will be border custom gray 2. Nice. Okay. Let's do that. So the other one is just text black, right? So, alright. So what else do we have here? Separate how to use at Okay, right. Let's see. Let me show that this is actually a component. This client, you can take the state off. Take this one off too. Okay, because we use at value, we are not setting anything, right? We just need the value of the atom element. Okay, there we go. Okay, so this font, I think it's very small. The font here is like 16, which is normal, but we'll just make it a little bit smaller. Text small. Nice. So the quantity. Alright, so I think we have x1 right there. So yeah, so this one is, we have this product in 2, we have another product. Nice. So the thing now is, for each of these product, we have to make sure that they have their own respective prices. Right, so just going to be flex colon. And we can put a key here. Take the key away from there, put it right here. And we can put this one here. And yeah, so the price will be in the auto part. So yeah, we could just make this one flex, justify between, like that. So this one will house the actual price of the product. Okay. Yes, I think this one times the quantity actually. Okay. Okay, so that's the number, and let's wrap this by a number as well. So make sure that any form of computation we're doing is really, around an actual number. So we'll not be having not a number error. Okay. Okay, so this is supposed to be here. So we have the class name and we paste the star in there. Nice. And we'll just give it a little gap. So the gap would just be, maybe I could do MB gap for a bit. Okay, 3. So what's the distance between no distance actually, but there is here. So we have 14. So I can just do 4. Sweet. Okay. So now I want to get the total. Yeah, so total is just going to be very much straightforward. Right, the things we want to do there are basically just this and this. So we'll compute the, so here we'll just write total. So don't need a key or index. And then we just compute subtotal. Okay, so we have the subtotal. Let's see. Oh, we're not getting any values. Compute subtotal. So it does all of this work. And it returns the total, right? It should just produce in a number form. Oh, nice, sweet. So 140 plus 25 is definitely 165. Okay, interesting. So subtotal is going to be a little bit bolder. Okay, so we have subtotal, at the same time we have total. No, I don't know. That's very confusing. So we'll just use the total, right? So yeah, so what we can do is that in there we can just do arrows and text primary font code text 20 pixel. Okay, nice. Okay. Okay, so one other thing we need is we need the separator. Okay, so let's see the margin between the top. Here is like 30. So my give it 30 pixel. And the next thing we do is to grab all of this as a text and paste it right in here. So we could use a strong element or bold, whatever you prefer. Yeah, I think there's actually a difference between strong and bold, right? So let's see. Um, bold, strong. So that's semantics. So strong is semantically better. All right. So yeah. So in case you ask the kind of question, it kind of pops up sometimes. You want to use strong instead of bold. Okay. So the last thing is this let's see button. Let's check the spacing between this guy and maybe this button. We can't really type on this button, but it's fine. It's around 60-ish or something. Main button. So yeah, the classes, the BG. So BG will be white. And the rounded is actually just normal. And text is black. And title. So text is actually place order. So values in a div. Then this is thing right there. Okay, so when you override, the background should still be white. So border is going to have the same color as this. Border black. So roundedness is like 15. So rounded 15 pixel. So maybe you can reduce the height a bit. Height is 64 by doubt. So you can do height 50 pixel. Yeah, 50, 55. Nice. So this button is strategically placed, at the middle. So once you use the flex justify center. Nice. And there are lots of like distancing in between, and so you could do it right here. Sweet. Alright, so this is actually what we'll be doing. So if it's on a small device, we expect it to to stack like this. But if it's wider on a wider screen, it has to have it has to be on the same row. So what I'm going to do now is we're just going to go to the actual page, go to checkout page. So app, we're going to close out everything. Okay, checkout, then go to page. And okay, so we have some MX here and there. We have this guy, right? So flex. Okay, just flex for now. Got it. Right. And we go to flex color. So in the flex well. Okay, so now what we want to try to do is we need this title, we're missing this. Let's add that to the beginning of whatever we have. I want this to be on the top, to be honest. Okay, that's billing details. So we'll add it here to the form. So we have a font bold and 36 pixel semi bold. Where are we? Okay, so yeah, so the spacing here and here to here is like 98. Okay, so I wouldn't want to put a 98 there, but we could put it here. So 98 pixel. So all I have to do here is just any other thing aside from 98. Okay, so then we have 36 downwards, which looks more like that. Okay, yeah, something like that. So the gap between here and here seem to be sharing the same 50-50 deal, so which is fine. And one thing I need to do is that in this form, just do 32. Nice. Okay, so sweet. So we can actually do whatever we want with here. Click on this to run our different validation. These are actually real life data that we've already selected. So you can click on our card. You can see we have a total of 165. That same 165 is what we are seeing here, right? So all you can do is to, is to obviously save the billing information, and then they can just, place an order, right? We could actually use one button for both. It depends. When we are integrating, we figure that out, right? So I think for the most part, we can as well just play with some of the informations we already have, right? Yeah. So I think with that, we've come to the end of this lesson. I hope you actually learned one or two regarding from validation and stuff like that. So in the next lesson, we actually be moving more into the actual backend integration. And yeah, I think I'm really pumped for that. And definitely I'll be seeing you there.